Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Sarman. Um, I'm a finance major here at KU, and I just finished my sophomore year. So, for my summer internship for Business 310, I am working with Kiewit. My role is an engineering controls analyst intern, and the office I'm working in is the Kiewit office up in Lenexa, Kansas. For anyone who doesn't know, Kiewit is a engineering and construction company. This means that they design and build anything from bridges and highways to power plants and offshore oil rigs. So, what does a day in the life look like for me? Well, the picture on the left is a picture of my desk. The picture on the right is kind of a picture of my floor. I work on the fourth floor and I have a really nice view over Lenexa and Olathe, which is really nice. Um, but typically I'll show up to the office around 8 o'clock, sometimes a few minutes earlier than that. Jump on my computer, respond to any emails that I missed the previous day or Microsoft Teams messages. Um, Depending on the day of the week, I'll have a mix between a lot of kind of personal work by myself and then time spent in meetings. Typically, earlier in the week, I'll have more meetings. Later in the week, I'm doing more individual work. There's no formal clock in or clock out process for my internship at Kiewit, which is nice. This also means we can take a lunch really whenever we want for anywhere between 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. I typically go down to eat around like 12 to 12:30. And then I usually leave the office sometime between 4:30 and 5. So speaking of lunch, and this is actually one of my favorite parts of my internship, Kiewit has a cafe downstairs on their first floor for all their employees. It has a great selection of food. The menu actually rotates each day during the week. Some days they'll have Mexican food, some days they'll have Italian food or barbecue or whatever. It kind of just rotates, which is nice. Good variety. And another cool thing is Kiewit actually subsidizes this food. So instead of paying $12 to $15 like you would for fast food, you're only paying $5 to $6 for the food here at the cafe, which is really nice. So one of the cooler things I've done during my internship so far is that a group of other interns and I actually went on a tour of the Kiewit corporate headquarters up in Omaha, Nebraska a few weeks ago. So we drove up there, stayed up there for one night, went on a tour of the headquarters, and then came back down to Kansas. Everything was paid for by Kiewit, which was awesome. The hotel and driving expenses. So the Kiewit headquarters in Omaha, they built a new building, their current building, which opened in 2020. It's 6 stories. It's one of the bigger, larger buildings in downtown Omaha. And it has some really cool amenities. It's got a cafeteria for their employees, kind of like the building I work at here in Lenexa. It's got a gym for their employees, basketball courts, a body shop, a coffee lounge. The picture on the top is a picture of kind of their main entrance of their office building. And then the picture on the bottom left is actually a picture of that body shop. So their employees can go in and have their car get maintenance, oil change, check the tire pressure, stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. And then finally, just some advice for future KU interns. First off, when you're looking for a company to intern with, I'd recommend that you are emphasizing the brand over anything. So Kiewit does a really good job of taking care of their employees. They've got a great business. It's well run, profitable. You want to be working for a company that's both financially sound, but also does a good job of looking out for their employees, which I feel like Kiewit does. Once you have your internship, the two main things I'd focus on are A, making connections with your various coworkers and other interns. This just makes showing up to the office each day much more enjoyable. And then be a fly on the wall. So whenever there's meetings with people in management or executive positions at your company, try to listen in on these meetings and take away as much as you can. The people in these meetings have been in your shoes before and they've been with the company for a while. So they probably have a lot of great things to say, and you can learn a lot from them. So that's it for me. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I wish all the future interns the best of luck.